Welcome to Tattletale. Here's today's story. We started as strangers on a train. Now she's my wife. I met the love of my life on a train I almost didn't take. I was supposed to fly out that day. Business trip. Last minute. But the weather had other plans, flight cancelled. I had to be in the next city by morning, so I booked the next best thing, an overnight train. Not ideal, but whatever. I got to the station running late, spilled coffee on my sleeve, and accidentally elbowed someone trying to check my ticket. That someone turned around, clearly annoyed, until she saw I was panicking and offered a half smile instead of a curse word. She said, "You look like someone trying really hard not to completely lose it." I said, "And you look like someone who's judging me for it." She laughed. Her name was Sam. She was headed to the same city for a friend's wedding. Window seat. Headphones in her hoodie. A paperback thriller in one hand. And despite my chaotic entrance, we ended up sitting next to each other. I thought we'd both just do our own thing the whole ride. But somehow, we didn't stop talking. We talked about music, movies, weird childhood stories. She told me she once got lost at Disneyland and ended up hanging out with a janitor who gave her ice cream and told her jokes until her parents found her. I told her I once lied about knowing karate to scare off a playground bully and immediately got called out and beat up. Worth it. There was no pressure. No flirting. Just talking. The kind where hours slip by and you don't even notice the train moving. At some point, she fell asleep with her head leaning slightly toward me. I didn't move. Not because I wanted her closer, but because it felt peaceful in a way I hadn't felt in a long time. We exchanged numbers when the train pulled into the station. No promises. No, we have to hang out. Just text me if you're bored. Or stuck on another train. I texted her 2 days later. Currently not on a train. Still bored. We met up for coffee. Then for tacos. Then for pizza at 1 a.m. after a concert we both left early from because the band sounded better on Spotify. A few months went by and we were officially dating. It wasn't flashy or dramatic, it was simple. Easy. She made me feel calm in a world that never shuts up. She had this way of grounding me. Once, during a stressful project at work, I sent her a long rant over text. Instead of giving advice, she just replied, "You're allowed to be tired. Just don't forget you're still doing your best." That meant more than a 10-paragraph solution ever could. But things weren't perfect. Sam had been burned in the past. Her last relationship ended with her feeling used, like someone's backup plan. So at times, she'd get quiet. Distant. Afraid I'd disappear the moment things got too real. And I had my own fears, too. I wasn't good at vulnerability. I thought being strong meant never showing weakness. But we worked on it. Little things. She wrote me sticky notes and hid them in my bag. I learned to talk instead of shut down. She met my family. I met hers. Her dog hated me at first, then decided I was acceptable. And then, we took another train ride. Not spontaneous this time, intentional. Same route. Same seats. Just us, 2 years later. She looked out the window and said, "Funny how one bad flight changed everything." I smiled and said, "Or maybe it was just good timing. Or good luck." Then I pulled out the ring. Nothing elaborate. No flash mob. No audience. Just me, her, and the sound of train tracks humming beneath us, like they were clapping quietly in the background. She stared at me for a second, then laughed the same way she did the first day we met. "You know I hate being proposed to in public." I panicked. "Is that a no?" She shook her head, still laughing. "No, it's a yes. You're just lucky I love you more than I hate public attention. We've been married for 3 years now. Sometimes I still think about how random it was. How close I was to missing that train. How annoyed she looked when I elbowed her. But life's funny like that. The biggest things start in the smallest, most inconvenient moments. I still take trains sometimes. Still spill coffee sometimes. Still get overwhelmed with work and life. But now, I have someone who sits beside me, even when the ride gets bumpy. Moral of the story: you don't always meet the one in a magical way. Sometimes you meet them while panicking in a train station with coffee on your shirt. But the right person, they stay. They listen. They grow with you. And when the time's right, they ride every train life throws at you, right by your side.